There's this new AI tool that's specifically for UI design that's been popping up for me recently, and it's called Creatie. It looks exactly like Figma, but with a few extra AI features. It allows you to import your files from XD or Figma or Sketch. So I got some of my design files to test it out, and I'm gonna lay down the harsh truths about it from a UI UX designer's perspective. So I'll start with a product overview here. The landing page looks really modern and nice, so it gives you that sense of trust for it. If you notice here, the layout is pretty much exactly like Figma with these extra tools here that they have for AI. I'm gonna go over the 4 main features that they have here. This image enhancer thing is really not useful inside of a tool like this, at least to me. I wouldn't need this in my design process, so forget about that one. The first major feature here they have is Magicon, which will create icons for you using AI. So it will generate icons based on your prompt, which is really cool. The other feature they have here is a wizard. This is basically where you select an area and prompt the AI to input components for you. And then we have automatic style guide, where you can extract a style guide from your designs so that you don't have to waste a lot of time creating it. And then you have the auditor, which is a really cool concept. We'll see how it actually performs. This feature will audit your design based on your design system and best practices in UI design. Here it shows you that you can migrate easily from any design tool, and you can collaborate with others, just like Figma. You can create prototypes, and there's handoff and developer mode. Let's jump into it. So I imported my design files here, and you can use this import button at the top where you can bring over your any format design files. You can even paste a link for your Figma design. So I opened up a design file that I have here. For the first feature, we're going to try the audit. You notice you have 3 new buttons at the top for AI tools. You can click on this new button that they have here for audit. It will audit anything that you have selected in your design file. It will give you suggestions on text size, corner radius, placement, padding. I don't really find this very useful, and it certainly doesn't need AI to do that. So I don't like that they're claiming that this is an AI feature. It's not really an AI feature. It's really just code logic and getting the data from your design file and applying it against a defined logic that they have for design principles and best practices. So it doesn't really require AI. I don't like that they're calling it AI. But it's a neat feature. I mean, you can audit your design files and compare them to your design system. There's this Figma plugin called Contrast that will do exactly that. If you can achieve it with a plugin, you don't need to start using a new software, a new platform. So I'll link this Figma plugin if you're interested in it. But usually in my workflow, when I'm designing UI, I would actually build using these principles in mind. So I wouldn't really need to audit my design afterwards. But it could help if you're auditing someone else's design and you have your design system and you want to see how they compare. But there's a Figma plugin for that. Now let's jump into the style guide feature. You can select the frames that you want and click this extract button, and it will allow you to extract any of these properties. So you can click extract and it will get all of the info it needs from your selected design. It will create a complete style guide for you. Again, this feature doesn't really need AI. It's just pulling info from your design and applying it and creating a design style guide for you, which is very basic. So nothing generative here, nothing really related to AI here. And again, Figma has a plugin for that. I mean, what are we doing here? And it doesn't really extract gradients. And this style guide is very basic, very common. It's the same style guide you see everywhere, so it's not really customized to your product. It's just getting colors and properties and corner radius and shadows, but that's pretty much it. I think the better way to go here, if you want to implement AI, is to go the design system way, because style guides are very basic and easy to generate. But if you're generating a design system for your brand, then you're going to need AI, and that's where AI will shine. You can create a whole design system with AI, I mean, if it was implemented, but it's not here. But I mean, that's the way to go. Like, design systems need a lot of writing and a lot of knowledge about the brand. You're going to need to say when to use each feature and how to use every element and the tone of voice. And you need vision and values and principle, and AI can really help you with that. I mean, I haven't seen an AI tool that can create a design system, but it would really be a cool AI tool, and I would really use that if it could create design systems. I can imagine it being like asking you questions about your brand and then putting all of your answers together into a design system. So imagine if it could ask you, what is your vision for this product? And then what values, what services do you offer, what tone of voice? And then the AI will create a whole design system based on those. And it will see your designs and pull out all of the elements and components and write text and directions on how to use them. All of your patterns, components, foundations. I mean, design systems are really tough to build and very time consuming, so AI would really help there. But the way they have it here, it's not really AI, so let's get to the next one. Now we have this wizard tool. It will allow you to select an area and generate, but I don't think this is generating components either. What are we doing? This is not AI at all. This looks like it's pulling components from a certain library and just letting you search for them, basically, and you can do that with Figma. You can always find libraries in the community in Figma, and you can achieve exactly that. And there's a Figma plugin for this, of course. I mean, this search field is not a prompt field. This is not a prompt input, this is just a search field. You're not really describing in natural language here, you're just searching, literally, you're just searching. I mean, it's cool for quickly coming up with a mock-up, but again, this is not a game changer. And these components, these are very generic and basic. Usually in my design projects, the requirements are very specific. So I would like to prompt it to tell it, for example, I need a table with 3 rows and 2 columns, for example, or I need a list of items, for example, with a profile picture and 1 comment section. I mean, if this is AI, you need to be able to speak to it naturally, and this is just searching for components. Again, if this was AI, it could be really conversational, and it could like ask you follow-up questions based on what you are requesting. Like if you say you want a form, it can ask you like, what kind of form do you want? Do you want social logins? What kind of logins do you want? If you're creating a login form, do you want a forgot password button, for example? And if it was AI, it could like craft that specifically for your requirements. But here you're just getting templates. Let's jump into the next feature here. They have something called Magicon, and this feature is supposed to create icons for you using AI. This seems like it's the only feature that's using AI in this platform. This is actually generative AI, where you can prompt it with natural language and it will create something for you out of the blue. It will create something new and unique for you. So the icons coming out of here are going to be unique. But I found that it's a bit hard to get exactly what you want. As with all of the AI models with image generation, it always takes a while to get exactly what you want, so it's not really an efficient way to create icons. Specifically here, I tried many times to get exactly what I need. In my experience, sometimes I need a very specific icon that I can't find in my icon kit. Not all the icon packs have all of the icons, so sometimes I would have to mix and match or create my own icon based on the style that I'm doing. But creating it here is really going to be a hassle to get it to match your style. I really think I'd rather just go and create this from scratch in Illustrator rather than wasting my time with generative AI that is not very accurate. But at least this one is using AI, so hey. Sometimes I struggle to find icons for photos and videos together. Like there's no icon for something that is called photos and videos. It's either photos or videos, so I tried to create it here, it's not working. Sometimes I struggle to find a specific icon to scan an ID. Not just scan, like scan ID. Not all icon packs have this. And here it's messing up. It's not really giving me anything useful here. I don't know. I'm not gonna waste your time too much longer here. I'm tired of this app. They really shouldn't claim any AI here. I mean, this whole app could have been a plugin for Figma. I don't know why they chose to go the route of building a new Figma. It's really cool that you can import your design files here. I've had issues in the past with reading XD files because they discontinued XD and migrating over to Figma. And I found that this app reads XD files better than all of the other solutions that I found. It still has little issues, but I couldn't find a perfect app to read XD files. This one does a pretty good job, so that's good. Any designer will agree with me that migrating to a new tool is a big hassle. So you'd really need a huge incentive to switch from Figma to another tool, especially if it's not a very popular tool and you're gonna need to train your team on using this tool. And guess what? You cannot export your files from this tool to Figma. So it can only go one way. and that's really, really bad. So I don't know, like there's really no way to export this. I mean, what are they expecting us to do here? Like, just switch to this app and like live in here and do all of our work in here? Why? There's no real incentive here. Overall, really not impressed, as you can tell. I'm really surprised with how accurate they got a clone of Figma. It looks like they got access to the source code of Figma or something, or it's one of those companies that specialize in copying others' tools. It's really remarkable how accurate it is. Even the shortcuts work exactly the same. Even the prototyping and the dev tools all work exactly the same like Figma. I'm really struggling to understand why they didn't decide to create plugins, AI plugins, call them AI, just do plugins. So why did you have to do a whole new platform that looks exactly like Figma with 3 extra buttons? That's it. And as I said, these guys are tackling a very tough market. Like, getting a designer to switch their tool is really a very, very hard sell. It has to be very convincing and very beneficial for someone to actually do this transition or migration to a new tool. But this is really not worth it. So there you go. I did this so you don't have to. I saved you some time. Don't even try this tool, or at least not now. Maybe they have improvements and more AI implementations in the future, but I really don't trust them anymore, especially since they keep calling these features AI and their landing page is so good. So I don't know. It feels sketchy. And the fact that you can't export, that's a red flag for me. So even if you want to create icons using AI, there's Recraft that will create icon sets for you in the same style, and they will have consistency, and it will have your reference images. I mean, there's so much that you can do in other AI tools. You don't need to use a whole UI design platform just to use the icons here, and they don't even work most of the time. Check out my previous video on Recraft if you want to create AI icons, and subscribe to my newsletter if you want to stay updated on AI tools and new AI features. And also don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.